Hi guys, thanks for joining me again today. It's Mitch from Smart PE, and today I'm going to be looking at a smarter way to answer an extended question on components of fitness. Now hopefully you've scanned the QR code at the top. Obviously you have, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to me now. And what we're going to try and do is just break down this question. But first of all, let's explain the learning map. So on the left hand side of your page you have your plan. The purpose of this page, or this side of your page, is to be really notey, just making sure you're using notes to piece together your answer. I'm not expecting for lots of continuous sentences, but you could do if you wanted. Most important bit here is we are planning what we are going to write. So keywords with a brief description would probably be a good idea. Then the right hand side we actually have the question itself and what it would look like on the day, or as close as it would look like on the day. Because this is a question I have had to make up and tweak and change to make it fit this topic, as this type of question wasn't released in any of the SAMS materials. Now a number of arrows will flash up. That will draw your attention towards certain parts of this question. So let's look at the question first. Assess the relative importance of agility, flexibility and power for a badminton player. Now there are 5 steps that we always follow. First of all, I'd like you to read the question really carefully, and that might include reading it more than once. So press pause on the video and do that now. Great. So you've read the question. I'm then looking for you to highlight and fully understand a number of key things. Now, highlighting the information is not enough. You then need to draw some arrows away from key parts to help you really understand the question. So step 2, next thing I'd like you to do, highlight the command word and draw an arrow from it and write what that command word means. Now students often forget to do this. So press pause on the video and do that now. Great, the next thing I'm then looking for you to do is to highlight any topic words. This should be step 3. And then any qualifier words. This should be step 4. Don't forget, topic word is what your teachers have taught you about, and the qualifier word is what you're going to be linking your answer to. Press pause on the video and do that now. Brilliant. And the final thing I'm looking for you to do is just to highlight or circle the amount of marks available, just to make sure you make enough points in your answer. Okay, now you cannot move on until you've done that, and if you notice next to the question located just here, we have a little clipboard. Do not tick those boxes until you have completed those steps. If that is not ticked, I always make sure that I would not mark a student's answer. And it's really important that they get through those steps and build some routine into their work. Okay, now let's have a little look at planning our answer. So we should know now the AO split. We should have 3 AO1s, 3 AO2s and 3 AO3s. And if those AOs are correct, then we give ourselves the chance to score full marks. So let's look at a fact first. What I would do in this particular situation is there are 3 components of fitness named: agility, flexibility and power. So I'm looking to recall a fact about each one of those components of fitness. Now for me the most obvious fact is to give a definition of that component of fitness. So in that first box, a definition. I've gone for agility, and agility is the ability to change direction with control. That is a fact. It is a definition of agility. Okay, now let's look at an AO2 application. What we're now going to have to do is we are going to have to apply when agility would be used by a badminton player. And that's going to go in this box just here. So what I've gone for is agility would be used when changing direction quickly after playing one shot and then being ready to play another. Now we then move on to AO3, analysis or evaluation. Typically something which students find quite challenging. Now this question relates to relative importance. Now I always tell my students that relative importance means to rank. We are going to have to say how important or how unimportant a particular component of fitness actually is. So here we're looking at agility. This is going to go in my final box just here. So I have decided that agility is very important, as without good agility, your opponent would simply move you around the court and win the point. So agility is going to be crucial. Notice there I've used words like very important. I've had to rank, I've had to make a judgment for how important it is and then justify why. Now let's look at the other AOs you're going to have to make. So obviously we're now looking for a selection of AO1s, AO2s, AO3s for the next component of fitness, which is flexibility. And I'm then looking for exactly the same for power. Don't forget, we're going fact, a definition in this case, application, so we're always linking it to a badminton player, and then analysis or evaluation, saying how important or useful it actually is. So, press pause on the video now. Always use your notes. This is not a test. I'd like you to see if you can write some of your own AO1s, AO2s, AO3s for flexibility and power. Press pause on your video and complete that now. Brilliant. So hopefully now you've written a selection of different AOs, AO1s, AO2s, AO3s. Now we're now starting to get into a position where we're thinking about how we're going to structure our answer. So that arrow came a little bit early there. But you now need to decide, when you now come to answer your question, how are you going to structure your answer? Are you going to write all of the AO1s together in your first paragraph? Is your second paragraph then going to be dedicated to AO2s? And then is your third paragraph going to be dedicated to AO3s? I say to my students, they are a cross type people. They like to lay their answers out, AO1s all, AO2s all, AO3s all, in paragraphs 1, 2, 3. Alternatively, you might decide to lay your answer out in a different way. And I call these people top to bottom people. So these people in paragraph 1 would go AO1, AO2, AO3. In paragraph 2, AO1, AO2, AO3. And in paragraph 3, AO1, AO2, AO3. So you need to decide how you're going to lay your answer out. Now I would always encourage you to start with an introduction of some kind, and I'd recommend that's quite basic, just setting the scene for what you're going to talk about, no more than a sentence or two. And I would always encourage you to finish with a conclusion, just drawing everything together. And particularly of relative importance, we are going to have to make a judgment, we are going to have to rank. Okay, now across the page on the right hand side of your paper, you now have the space where you can use your plan to answer this question. Now you're going to have to decide how you're going to lay it out. Don't forget, are you a person that's going to have all the AO1s in the first paragraph, all the AO2s and then all the AO3s? Or are you going to go AO1, AO2, AO3? It's entirely up to you what you're going to go for. There's no right way of doing it, but it is really important that you don't jump between AOs and start talking about different components of fitness. Structure is really important. So press pause on the video now and have a go at answering that question using your plan. Brilliant. Now obviously you've moved on to this part of the video. So what you've done is you have answered that question. Now what you have this side, this is a mark scheme. This is a student friendly mark scheme that's going to help you mark your own work. So as you can see, it's split AO1, AO2, AO3. And it further reinforces the amount of marks for each AO. So as you can see, for this first bit, you must make 3 AO1 points. Now I mentioned earlier, it's a really good idea to define any key terms, as that will typically give you 1 AO1 mark. So here in this first bit, we have agility, is the ability to change direction with control. Flexibility is the range of movement possible at a joint, and power is the ability to do strength performances quickly. Now I have written also a bit of guidance at the end there, except any other specific facts. Now for me, getting those definitions out of the way is really important, and there shouldn't really be another fact that you would write. Give the definition of key terms. If you were to write all 3 of those things and they are contained within your answer, then you'd pick up 3 AO1 points. Now I'd like you to use this mark scheme to continue to mark your own work and finally give yourself a mark out of 9. I would like to draw your attention though to AA3, analysis or evaluation. Don't forget I said earlier, relative importance, to rank, to give a judgment. So notice here, agility, we say it's very important. Flexibility, we say actually is not as important as the other two. And then we have power. We've said that it's the most important component of fitness. So we are starting to give judgment. We are starting to rank how important something is. So it's really important that your answer contains that element of judgment. Press pause on the video now. In fact, actually, this will be the end of the video. And all you need to do is use this to mark your own answer. Now, if you don't get 9 out of 9, it's really important you go back and review what you missed out. So if you only made 2 AO2 points, for example, go back in and write the third. So you've got the best chance possible of achieving full marks on the day of your exam, as you have reviewed where you went wrong. Good luck.